Hey guys, welcome back to CarnalDish. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really easy, simple, and delicious all butter buttermilk pie crust. So let's get started. First thing that we're going to do is add some frozen butter to our dry ingredients, which is flour, sugar, and salt. And we want to make sure that we coat the butter with the flour. So just grab a spoon and gently coat the pieces of butter. You don't have to be too thorough about this, but it'll help it blend a lot better when we start to process it. Now, we don't want to completely pulverize the butter, but we want to break it down a little bit. So I'm going to give it 7 1-second pulses, and it'll start to look like a really coarse cornmeal almost. The butter should be about pea-sized here. You're gonna have some mostly pea sizes. Some may be a little bit larger, some may be smaller, but don't worry too much about that. So we're gonna add almost all of our buttermilk mixture, and we're going to pulse this into the dough so that it can distribute, the flour can get hydrated, and you wanna pulse this for about maybe 5 or 6 seconds or so. And then we're gonna add the remaining buttermilk, and we're gonna process this for another 5 to 6 seconds, just until the dough starts to come together. And when you squeeze it between your fingers, it actually stays together. See, check this out. You look how the dough is starting to come together and look kind of clumpy. This is exactly what you want, okay? So stop right here. You wanna give it a squeeze, and it's really moist. See how mine came together? That's exactly what you're looking for. If it comes together and stays together, then it's ready to be rolled out. So you're gonna dump your pie dough onto a clean surface. You can flour it, I would suggest that. You see how mine is not like a perfect ball of dough? It shouldn't be. It should still be some pieces that are loose and kind of crumbly. You want to err on the side of your dough being too wet versus too dry. Mine is actually not dry at all. It's just, individual pieces of clumpy butter, and they can easily be pressed into this circle. So I'm flattening this into a disc, and I'm gonna wrap it with some saran wrap and put it into the refrigerator for about 45 minutes to an hour. You wanna do this at least 30 minutes. And just continue to flour. Like I said, err on the side of too wet versus too dry. It's a little harder to add water to a dry dough and work it in there without it creating too much gluten, but you can always add more flour to a slightly wet dough. So chill this out, let it rest for at least 30 minutes, and then you'll be able to roll it out and put it into your pie plate. So now it's time to roll out the dough. It has been in the refrigerator for 45 minutes and it's nice and firm, and the butter has had a chance to get hard again. So I'm going to lightly flour my surface and my hands, and I'm going to take a flat rolling pin and just roll it out, turn it as I roll it. This is enough dough for me and my particular preference for one pie crust. Now, if you like a thinner pie crust, you can actually divide this in half, but we love crust around here, so this whole thing is going to be the bottom crust to my roasted pumpkin and sweet potato pie that I'm doing later for you guys. So just roll it out, turn it, flour it as you need to, and don't worry about the edges looking kind of they're kind of shitty, but it doesn't matter because I'm gonna tuck them under as I crimp it. As far as measurements go, that's going to depend on the size of your pie plate. If you have a smaller one, you're obviously going to roll it out a little smaller. You may even divide it in half. Mine is 9.5 by 2 inches, so I like a nice, hearty, sturdy crust. So just make sure that you press it into the pie plate so that it is actually touching the pie plate and there aren't any gaps, any air pockets or anything like that. And you want to just tuck the edges under if you didn't trim them like I didn't. And I'm going to flute this with my knuckles. And with 2 knuckles on one hand, I'm going to press the dough in between those with a knuckle from my other hand, just like this. And I'm going to go all the way around. You can use a fork to crimp the dough. You can use anything that you want. You can actually trim the excess edges and make shapes. I've seen people do that. That's really cute. So it's really all, up to what you want. And make sure that the edges are fluted against the rim of the pie plate. And then you want to freeze this, and then you're ready to use it. So stay tuned, and I will show you guys my roasted pumpkin and sweet potato pie coming up real soon.